2, 1.
Hey guys, welcome to the online comedy show. Hello, I'm Chris Darwa.
Good for you.
That's
Hi, my name is Benjamin Delahaye. And
Wow.
I'm from France.
they know you say that every time.
Yeah.
Every single
I'm
time.
going to repeat it every time.
Oh, they get it. Hi guys, good to see you.
Good to see you. Thank you. Welcome to the online comedy show.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming. We're streaming live
We are.
from Zürich, Switzerland.
From my apartment still.
Yes, still from his apartment.
It's an exciting place to be.
Exactly. So,
Oh, that, yep,
yeah,
we can go like,
hi people.
everyone. Hi.
And we got
Wow, my place looks dirty. We got a good show on for you
we
tonight,
got a great show for you tonight.
Yeah.
So, but let's talk about a little bit like, so what's been going on in my home country? What's been going on in France?
Who cares?
I do,
Okay,
but we can move on.
Probably not work. Are they striking again? Is that what's going on?
Okay. Hi, my name is Ben, and I'm from
Hi,
France.
I'm Chris Darwa. Hey, how's it going?
All right.
Man, the energy's a little different today. It's a little bit low. It's probably my fault, actually. I'm sorry, guys. I'm
Yeah.
feeling.
It's actually pretty depressing.
I am kind of. I'm feeling a negative kind of vibe today.
Yeah. What's going on with you?
I'm a little bit I'm a little sad
Why are you sad?
because because I've started putting on weight.
And
Well, that's not normal for me. I mean, I get for you, it's a thing, but for me, it's like I don't live my life this way. I'm not.
dude, if I would be depressed every time I'd put on weight, I'd be like, I wouldn't be able to live my life.
Well, I mean, how do you live it now? Okay, so look, I'm having trouble. Can you give me some advice, maybe?
Yes.
Could you?
I'm sure.
Yeah.
So some advice. You just have to.
Because I think of you, you're kind of like this really positive guy. Do you know what I mean? You're
Yes,
kind of like
I am a well of positivity.
a whale of positivity.
I'm a well of positivity.
Whale,
I am a source of positivity.
like a sauce, like you put on a dish.
God damn it.
What is the?
Let me say it in
Okay.
German. Ich bin ein Quelle von.
How is that going to help anyone? When
Positivkeit.
has yelling in German ever helped anyone?
I don't know.
Not now.
Okay, we got
Just
a
give me
great
some
show.
advice. Like, what do I do with the whole putting on
You just have to know yourself. You know,
Okay.
like Play-Doh.
plate? Food? Can you stop thinking about food for a second? I'm really upset.
Okay, fine.
We have a great show. Hi, I'm
we
Chris
have an
Darwa.
amazing show.
Are we
Benjamin
live yet?
Delahaye. Yes, we are live.
Okay, hi, I'm
So,
Chris Darwa.
We have comedians streaming from really far away tonight.
Lots of diverse places.
Lots of diverse persons.
We've got people from LA,
and other people from LA
a couple more from LA,
and other from LA.
mostly.
Mostly from LA. We have one person from Slovakia.
That's cool.
But big up to the people from LA because not only do they have this lockdown,
Yeah.
they had an earthquake last night.
Did they really?
Yeah.
That's insane. I heard that there's like a bunch of giant killer hornets coming from Asia over to Europe as well.
I know. And there's like a huge fire like 200 meters from Chernobyl.
Really?
Yeah.
Almost like the planet doesn't want us here right now.
We got the message, God. Okay.
We got it. Thank you.
All right.
All right. Well,
Okay.
I
Let's
think
look
that's
at our
everything.
paper right
Let's look
here.
at our
like-
paper. I think that's everything. Oh no, you know what we haven't mentioned? You know who isn't giving the world coronavirus? Creation Station.
Creation Station.
Creation
You may
Station.
notice that this image is crisp and the sound is lovely.
It's wonderful.
You have the French accent right into your ear and you're thinking, I'm feeling it.
I think I need
well-
to call a cop.
Yes. This is thanks to the wonderful work of Creation Station.
Creation Station. When you're creative and you want to get creative, you
Yeah,
pull
like- Your train of creativity right into Creation Station. Hi, I'm Benjamin Delahaye.
I'm Chris Darwa. Hi, welcome to the show.
Hey, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much.
We
for
got a
being here.
great
We
show.
do have a great show for you tonight. We've
All right.
got a bunch of comics. Should we get the first one going?
Yeah, let's get the show started.
All right.
So
cool.
let's go all the way to Hollywood, California.
I like how you kung fu'd your way to Hollywood, California.
Yeah.
Like,
All right.
all right.
And please give a big round of applause because we can feel your applause. We know you
can.
can comment in the YouTube section.
Oh yeah, please do comment.
Yes, we are reading the comments.
We do.
All
He
right.
can read.
We're reading the comments. So, guys, let's welcome to the stage our first comic for tonight, Matt Kirshen.
Hey,
You're live.
Hey. Oh, this is you guys have got stuff. You got it together so much more than any of these shows I've ever done. You've worked it out. This is ridiculous. I'm not worked it out. I'm currently kneeling next to my bed in front. Like, I'm not tiny. I'm kneeling. These aren't just like massive drawers. I'd forgotten about the earthquake. That's how crazy this time is. We had an earthquake, and it's already gone out of my mind. I guess it's because earthquakes are the only natural disaster where afterwards you have to check online to see if it happened. You're not like, oh, is that a hurricane? Did anyone just feel a hurricane? Check on the internet, Google hurricane, put in hurricane and our address and see if a hurricane just wiped out our town. Because that church roof never used to be in our kitchen. So I think there was a hurricane just then. It's a very weird time right now. I'm meant to be getting married in a couple of months, and who knows? Who knows? We were meant to be getting married on September 13th, which multiple friends of mine now have been like, are you sure? Because that means your wedding anniversary every 7 years will be on Friday the 13th. And I'm like, yeah, it's okay, because neither my fiance nor I are 15th century villagers. We don't live our life by omens. The movement of the crows have little bearing on whether we will eat this winter. So when we run out of food, we press a thing on our phone and more food comes. That's how we live. For the moment, who knows? Maybe we will be. Maybe we will return to some kind of bartering system. It's already happening. Who knows? We started the process. Like we're deep into it. We spent money already. We've got people booked for the things. I don't know how many of you have done the wedding thing, but holy crap, the money. Flowers. You know how much flowers cost? That was one of the biggest expenses. We got 4 figures for the flower quote, 3 figures for the bouquet, and she's spending that much money on the bouquet. You're not take a picture of it on an iPad. You can throw that. It's cheaper. I'd gone ring shopping for myself. I'm not a ring person. Never worn rings. But didn't know how emasculating that process would be. Apparently, I have very slender fingers. Who knew? Like multiple jewelers now have told me, like, oh, you got very slim fingers there. Thanks. I can double up if needed. Hopefully that won't have too much bearing on our married life. Does it still count? Can she still get on my health insurance? Like, how are we gonna do this? I know, by the way, I'm talking to a bunch of Scandinavians, like health insurance is a thing. You guys, I grew up in the UK as well, where like, if you get ill, someone fixes you. And rather than here where you're like, oh, I'm going to have to enter into some kind of business deal to see whether or not I live. That's, because, I wasn't an unathletic, nerdy kid. That's who I was. I was small. I was sort of geeky. I was bad at sports, and none of that has to be in the past tense. As opposed to the brute of a man you're now looking at. I was far-sighted. I was long-sighted. I wore glasses. That had a lazy eye. Do you know the treatment for a lazy eye? It's a patch. They put a patch over the other non-lazy eye to make the lazy one not lazy. Like, that's the best that science has come up with. Still, to this day, I checked. Like 2020, that's still what they do. That's like something a Victorian nanny would have invented. Like, oh, don't help him. Don't help the lazy eye. They'll have to work. Hit the lazy eye. Tough love. Your parents try and play it off as a good thing, by the way. Your parents they're like, oh, look at you, you lucky thing. You get to have an eye patch. That's cool, isn't it? No one else has an eye patch. You're the only one. You're literally the only one. It's always good to look different as a child. The other school children like the different kid. You know what you look like? A pirate. Like, oh, don't attack a scary pirate. You know you look nothing like a pirate. I was 6, not a moron. Pirate's eye patches, black, skull and crossbones, bit of elastic. Kids with lazy eye patches are beige, adhesive, and if you're really lucky, they stick it to the front of your glasses. That's what I had, like these big glasses that were twice like the size of my face, and then this massive leftover plaster, this Band-Aid looking thing. You know the huge one that you've never used? You bought it from the pharmacist, the variety pack. There's the one massive Band-Aid, because any injury big enough to need to be covered by it, too severe. Just cover it with a plaster. Who's using that? Like, oh my God, I've been shot. Get the big one. Get the big one from the variety pack. Rip it off the squinty kid's face. I've asked around as well, and I'll leave you with this. I've asked around to see what people had as kids with their various little lazy eyes. Most people had the beige thing that I had, the beige Band-Aid looking thing. Some people got full pirate. I'm jealous of those children. Some kids had parents who thought they were helping them by disguising the eye patch, by covering it with a sticker of an eye. As if that's not terrifying. Like, off you go to school with your single unblinking eye. Go run off now. Run off to school with your one eye that looks around, the other looks like it can see through time. Act normal, make friends. People of this show, this remarkably organized and well-produced show. It's been a joy talking to you. I've been Matt Kirshen. Take care. See you around.
And that was Matt Kirshen there with a bad internet connection. Thanks, Matt. I'm Chris Darwa. Welcome to Online Comedy News. Our top story tonight, origami. But more on that as it unfolds. Well, Kim Jong-un. There are doubts over the future survival of the North Korean leader and a strong possibility that his sister, Kim Yo-jong, may be set to wrest control of the dictatorship. They're also up for leadership contention are Kim Yo-yo, Kim No-go, Yo-yo Ma, Hot Kimchi, Tom Kha-gai, and Kid Rock. On Friday, global financial ratings agency Fitch graded South Africa's world credit rating as junk. This is seen as a positive departure from their previous grading, crap. In Australia, a 23-year-old man has died after he was bitten by a shark near the Great Barrier Reef on Monday. The man was bitten while swimming with others off a northwest island. According to police in Queensland, the sharks are taking these lockdown measures very seriously. While staying in Australia now, beloved Australian soap opera Neighbours is resuming production during the coronavirus pandemic. It's now, however, going under the name Neighbours, who live very far away. Well, can the drawing of a mythical Japanese mermaid ward off the coronavirus? No. UFC President Dana White, who faced criticism for pushing forward with events during the COVID-19 epidemic, says he now plans to host fights on a private island. Apparently, the UFC boss managed to secure an island after its previous owner was murdered in his prison cell.
No.
Huh?
It was... No. Like this.
He hung himself.
Yes. No. Yes.
All right. Sure, why not? Let's keep it going. Alrighty. Well, in the US, there's news that COVID-19 may have been circulating in Los Angeles weeks earlier than previously thought. And I mean, that's LA for you. Always ahead of the curve. While staying in LA, the SAG Actors Union has issued new guidelines for Hollywood's on-set intimacy coordinators, who will be working to battle potential harassment in sexually explicit scenes in film and television. Chief among these guidelines, no raping, which for Hollywood, I think we can all agree is a huge improvement. Oh, in breaking news now, a French doctor has suggested that smoking could protect against COVID-19 infection. I knew it, stop it. I knew it. Oh God, finally, I've been saying this for years. Like, oh, 1 second. I've been saying for years, he didn't do anything bad at all. Oh God, that's good. Okay, keep it going. Now, where was I? COVID-19. However, in the same study, the doctor cited as evidence, it was also shown that people who smoked were more likely to suffer a severe form of COVID. Often in these troubled times, it's good to turn to literature to find inspiration. And here's a book I managed to pick up recently, the Bible. Now, in the contents page, it says there's a passage on what God instructs us to do in a crisis. So I thought I'd share that with you tonight. It says, I know what it is to be in need, and I know what it is to have plenty. So there you have it, God on the coronavirus. I've often been asked if I believe in God, and the truth is, I only believe in things that I can see. And thanks to drugs, I've seen every God there is. Now it's over to our man in LA, Danny Jolles. Oh no, I'm sorry, coming in, we'll be going to Nicole Schreiber. Nicole?
You're like, how are we doing? This is great. Guys, I've lost it, you guys. Fully fucking lost it. It's gone. But fun news. I found in my stuff, I live in LA, but I grew up in Michigan. And I found in my stuff, I used to go to summer camp every summer of my life. And I'm old. So I wrote a lot of letters, so many letters. So these are letters that people sent to me. And then apparently I had this thing for writing letters to guys who were my boyfriends and then never sending them. So I found one. So I just wanted to read some of it because I thought it was really funny. I don't know if anyone else will find it funny, but here we go. Mark, spelled with a C. He was French. He was French Canadian, you know, those French Canadians. Anyways, I went to camp in Canada. Is anyone Jewish here? Because I used to go to Jewish summer camp. Jewish summer camp was the best for like lifelong friendships and learning how to give blowjobs. Okay, so Mark, I know I'm probably the last person you'd like to hear from, but I have something to say, and I'd greatly appreciate if you'd listen with an open mind. I underlined with an open mind. I write this letter to apologize, but not for what you think. To get things straight, in capital letters, I did not tell Kate to tell Jordan. I don't remember any of that. Life is not like 90210. People don't plot against their friends. People don't plot the demise of a friend. And there's no conspiracy against Mark Ennis. That was his full name, Mark Ennis. I'm outing Mark. If anybody knows Mark Ennis in Toronto, really nice guy, great guy. I guess when you were in, you said some shit about Jordan to Kate. I lost my virginity to Jordan. That's who Jordan is. Okay, so rewind. Mark was my boyfriend, but I hadn't had sex with Mark. I hadn't had sex at all, but then I lost my virginity to his best friend, Jordan, and everybody it was like the talk of the town. And by town, I mean nobody. But anyways, so I guess you said some shit. You know what? I'm going to stop because it just gets really sad. That was when I was 17. Apparently I was very dramatic and that has not continued at all, but camp was great. Summer camp is like a very like Jewish concept. I don't know. I mean, I do know why, but I'm not going to bore you with the history of Jewish summer camp, but it was a really great time for me. But yeah, I think one of the most like important parts, as I mentioned about summer camp, is like learning about sex stuff. And that's what scares me now about girls these days. Like girls these days, I learned about blowjobs from my counselor at camp, Vicky and Ruby, a counselor named Ruby, and she was a stripper for a short stint. But you know, it's like they taught me about blowjobs. Like they taught me how to give a blowjob on like this giant pencil that you would win at like a carnival. And that was my introduction into sex. Like that was the first time I had conceived of a penis. Like I had never seen a penis. And now there's these young girls who are learning sex stuff from like porn stars, like professional, like they're learning off the internet. Like they've all seen a penis. Like the first time I saw a penis was the first time I saw a penis. Like there are some pro level hoes coming up in this world. And that's my biggest fear, is that if I don't find someone soon, some pro level like young ass hoe is going to swoop in. Like it's scary out there. Like young kids are doing anal and like eating ass. Like I like to call it snacking on a booty, but like, you know, it's like all these guys are eating ass. Like most of them can barely eat pussy. Like I don't understand why it's like such a thing. Anyways, I'm just very stressed out about my dating life and the fact that I'm so alone in quarantine. I don't know what it is about trauma that makes me so horny, but I haven't masturbated this much since 9/11. My God. This quarantine needs to end soon because I'm not going to have a clit in like a week. It's going to be just gone. I'm going to eradicate it. This thing is going faster than people in Detroit dying. You know, it's like, I say that I'm from Detroit, you know. It is truly sad what is going on there. I'm gonna segue into something happier. But there's nothing happier. What are we gonna do, guys? What are we gonna do? We're fucking stuck inside. It's fucking terrible. What did I want to talk about? There were so many. I'm like, oh, there's so many pictures, you guys. I used to be a hoe. Look at this. Can you see this? That was me. I used to go fake tanning. And that's back when I had a full clit. Oh, I did coffee talk. I did coffee talk for a talent show. That was me. I am literally the most Jewish person on earth. My friend recently told me that I have the personality of all the Seinfeld characters in one. Do you guys realize? Oh wait, look. You know what? No, I'm not going to show you that. Oh wait, a boyfriend. That was a boyfriend at summer camp. Anyways, I don't know how much more time I have, but I want to leave you with, where is it? Shit. I lost the thing I wanted to share. Fuck. Okay, listen, you guys, I'll be back. That's what's important. Don't touch elevator buttons. I think that's my biggest takeaway from all of this, especially the ground floor button. Never touch the ground floor button bare-fingered, ever. Never raw dog the ground floor button, because that one is the cum dumpster of elevator buttons. Don't just knuckle it, elbow it, just don't touch it. And I think that's my time. Is that my time? Yes, it's my time. All right, I love you guys. Bye.
That was Nicole Schreiber, live from Hollywood, and her damaged clit.
She looks like a hot Larry David.
Okay, I'm Benjamin Delahaye.
All right, I'm Christopher. Hi again. Good to see you guys. Thanks so much for coming on the call. It's lovely to have you here every time. I hope you don't lose your mind over there. Should we move on? We got a comment?
I'm just trying to find, there's one comment that's been erased.
What?
Okay, and it's from Michelle Kalt. Do we know Michelle Kalt?
Oh, yeah, but we've
heard of her. She took
brave,
her,
Michelle. Say what you want to say.
Rewrite your comment, for crying out loud.
Don't be afraid. What's the worst that could happen?
Eternal shame. Okay.
I doubt it. We're going to cover that. All right, let's move on from Hollywood to Hollywood.
I don't know what's happening. It's like the trend of Hollywood right now. All right.
Our next comic. Creation station.
Yes,
all right, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our next comic all the way from Hollywood,
Danny Joe. And you're live.
Well, why, hello there. What an exciting time. I saw Michelle's comment when it happened. Michelle's comment actually was that her mom was in the other room. So I'm on top of this stuff. I have, first off, hi, everybody. I'm being mocked in the comments of this thing because, yeah, your boys got some better equipment than he had last time. That's right. I'm embracing Zoom comedy, baby. It's a wild time. I did go to Jewish summer camp, and I will tell you that it was the only place girls would touch me until I was basically in college. The way I always describe Jewish summer camp is it's a little bit like if you, like, nobody would touch you, but then you, like, had a girl, and you're like, what if we were on a deserted island? And it was just you and me and like 20 other Jews, and nobody would ever know what happened here. Every girl would be like, yeah, all right, fine. You're like, well, it's not a deserted island. It's a weird camp in Michigan. And that was it. And you would be good to go. I also want to say, first off, I forget who it was. Somebody, I think it was Michael, said none of these comics want us to see their walls. You're not wrong. We are humiliated. None of us expected the world would get a look into our apartments, and we've actively worked our entire lives on making sure that we are nobody would ever see it. Now we are devastated to see it. All these Hollywood comedians can't go hiking. Everyone in California is losing their minds. 100%. Michael, let me explain something to you. We are absolutely losing our minds in Hollywood. We've made our time. We're not allowed to go hiking. We keep having earthquakes. I have a Jewish girlfriend, and I'm Jewish. I don't know if you've ever seen two Jews in an earthquake, but imagine the most yelling humanly possible and just all of it unhelpful. We got in a fight in the middle of the last one. We were on the couch, and then she was like, we need to get under the table. And I was like, no, you got to get under a door frame. And then we were just yelling statistics back and forth until the earthquake was over. So that did nothing for anybody. And now we keep a table under the door frame, just in case, so we both can survive. So what I do when I do these, it's good to be back, is I read you guys a couple premises that I've been working on. I hope you like them. Those of you paying attention, other than my setup, might be noticed I look a little different. I have been working out so much. It's the only thing I have in my life. I can't recommend it enough. It's all I do. I work out with this guy named Eric. He does Zoom classes, and he is the most, there's a lot of stereotypes about people who work out, and like that they're dumb and stupid. And it's not to say he isn't these things, but what you don't factor in is they are the most positive, obnoxiously positive people of all time. Every single person who's super into fitness, all they do is just positive. Anything that happens, he like drops a water. He's like, and sometimes we all drop water. Let's lift another. And you're like, what are you talking about? It's obsessive. It's weird. He's like a child. He's very excited by everything. The other day, he asked how microwaves work in the middle of the workout. He was like, how do you think microwaves work? And I was like, oh, what a kid. What a little, it's like a little baby, these attractive guys. And you realize that's because he looks that good. Having worked out as much as I've worked out now, I realize that it's all they know. Like every ab that somebody has is 10 books they should have read that they didn't read because they were building those abs. And now you're making fun of them. And by the way, the truth is they're actually not that dumb. They just have the bravery and the confidence to admit they're dumb. I also don't know how a microwave works, but I would never admit it into a microphone. And that's the difference between, just got a phone call in the middle. That could have been a disaster. Gene, you got to work out, bro. You got to. The other thing I'm going to say, and then I'm going to go because we keep these quick, is I do think, though, whether you work out, whether you don't, Gene, I think you should love your body the way it is. I'm like a big believer in that. Like, however your body looks right now, you should believe in it. And I really think that every now and then I'll talk to somebody and they'll be like, who would ever love me the way I look? Like, who could ever want to be with somebody who looks like me? And I hope every time I hear someone say that, it breaks my heart to know they've watched that little porn in their life. I don't care how your body looks. I promise you, somebody is masturbating furiously to your body. So have some confidence and have faith in yourself, because I guarantee you somebody wants to fuck you and maybe your feet, but that's it. You're good to go. This is one of my favorite things to do. I love doing this show. I am doing a show at Nowhere Comedy Club next week, doing like a full headlining set. That's why I have all this equipment. I would love you guys came. And Jessica Michelle Singleton, Danny did 6 crunches, and now he's a fitness guru. Jessica and I once dated, and that genuinely hurt my feelings. Thank you so much. Goodbye.
I love this guy.
Yeah.
Body positivity. You should love your body. I'm all for it.
You could stand to love your body a little less.
Shut up.
Okay, fair enough.
All right. Well, he's got all this equipment for his big headline set.
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, and still doing the set in a sweatpants.
I'm not even wearing shoes. I can't say anything really. At least you came with footwear.
Now we're coming back to Switzerland, where we are.
We are coming back to Switzerland. Oh, this is the first time we're on the show.
Matterhorn.
Okay, let's
to
calm
the
down.
land of chocolate.
Easy
and
does it.
Heidi with the big Swiss boobs.
All righty. What?
I don't know where that came from. I'm sorry.
She's indoors now. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's go to our comic. First time here. I love this guy. He's a lot of fun. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome
Ferris Osmond. Your life.
Hey guys, thank you very much. I'm glad to finally use my webcam for something more productive and hygienic. Yeah, it also means I don't need these tissues anymore. Yeah, no need. Oops. I think we have a tissue malfunction. Just sticking. Yep. Guys, always wash your hands. It's important. I want to share with you guys something. I actually started doing comedy exactly about 1 year ago. And I do it because I wanted to talk to people. I wanted to touch people. And people wanted to touch me. Yeah. And when I started back then, I was talking by myself. No audience, awful jokes. And now talking by myself, no audience, awful jokes. I've gone full circle, man. This is cool. But this time around, I'm going to use some visual aid. Hold on for a while. Good. So I have some visual aid as I talk to you the next couple of minutes. In case you want a copy of the presentation, please leave your email address in the comment box so that we can be friends. Yeah. And as I said, I've just been doing this for 1 year. But cool thing is, I've got a YouTube channel. Proud of it. Yeah. And why, you may ask? Because this kid, he's only 10 years old. He already has like 24 million subscribers. But I prefer to start slow. I've got 42 subscribers. And 30 of them, family members and relatives. 10 of them are my daughter's friends from school. I had to pay each one of them 10 francs, man. Those girls are really predators. And then the rest of them are actually real fans. They actually come and goes. And the reason I'm actually doing comedy also is it's not about me being popular. Like, it's more that I want to be among the other popular comedians, especially in Basel. I mean, these comedians in Basel, they're so popular, so memorable. Every single one of people over here knows their name. They remember them. And one of them who's one of the funniest one, his name is Charles from Australia. Charles Darwin. Yeah, Charles Darwin. Love the guy, man. He's really funny. And but I did learn though. I did learn 3 simple lessons when I'm up to this stage for 1 year being comedian. Number 1, make sure the joke is clear. Number 2, don't laugh at your own jokes. And number 3, easy. Don't ask the audience if the joke is funny. So there's no punch here. It's just to give you something meaningful from this whole show. Just the past weekend, I just want to share with you, there was a 24 hours comedy festival, an international one. So every hour, new city, new set of comedians. It was great, man. I've learned a couple of things very interesting from the show. Number 1 is that everybody is staying positive. Number 2, every city has their own style of comedy. And the third, Saigon, Vietnam has the shittiest internet connection. Man, it's ridiculous. I was 1 hour there just looking and staying for buffering issues. And mainly it was basically this, a bunch of guys just sitting around, drinking and smoking weed. I don't know what was so enjoyable there. I mean, if not for the shitty internet connection, it could have been just shot from Kontiki Bar in Zurich. I mean, they should basically change their tagline: best weed, better Wi-Fi. That's something that should go for. But I don't think I should complain too much, because if you guys recall, before we had the internet, there is the Morse code, and for every single letter that you want to send. You imagine if back then you want to send a joke to someone, right? As you send it through Morse code, you're receiving the first letter. Then comes the second letter. And then shit, buffering issue. And you wait, and when you receive the next set of letters, what does it mean? Clueless. You only figure out someone says fuck you and then LOL. This is not even funny. But then you have to recall, I mean, if you want to see the actual joke, it's not gonna be useful, it's worthless, good, right? Now, let's get to something serious now. I think back then, someone has been saying about the coronavirus, they call it the China virus. This is racist. Seriously, complete racist. This has to stop. Reason is because if the COVID-19 was really from China, there have been a couple of knockoffs right now out there with names like COVID-91 or COVID-69. No, you don't hear any of this. So it's definitely not from China. And then if it did come from China, I'm pretty sure it would lasted more than 2 weeks. I mean, this thing is pretty good quality, man. It's been a couple of months now. So it's definitely not from China. Now, I know what you're thinking. Then where does it come from? And we've heard it before. Some say it's from bats. Others say it's from the pangolin. Now you guys must be wondering, what the heck is a pangolin? And here I'm going to help you. Now, it's not a musical instrument. So it's actually an animal, right? But I don't think why people are making it so difficult to figure out who's guilty. Is it the bat? Is it the pangolin? Just look at it. You can tell directly from the mugshot. It is the bat. That's the guilty one, right? We always use this. Can you imagine if you see these two faces? You know for sure which one is the guilty one, right? I mean, it depends on who you ask and what's the crime, but for most part, you know it's simply the guy on the left. Now, before I leave, I want to share with you one final joke. So, this is one of my best jokes that I have. You guys ready? Man, seriously, man, do you guys enjoy it? I bet you guys have never heard that joke before, man. That's really funny, right? Okay, hey guys, thanks for the time. Back to you.
Frank Osmond, ladies
Okay.
and gentlemen. Frank Osmond, all the way
He's
from
still-
Basel.
He's still sharing his presentation.
Still?
Can you unshare, please? Oh,
you-
or just show your whole computer.
Well,
There you go.
I do love Frank when he's in from Basel. It's a great time. Everyone
Hey,
loves him.
you know, so for anybody who's following from abroad, every comedian from Basel outrun their times.
Always does.
It's always a trademark.
It's the Basel thing. It's
It's-
like, what's that, 5? I'm going to make it a quick 8. But
So we've been loving your comments.
yeah.
Listen, guys, we have to tell you something. We're actually streaming from the future.
What?
We're 20 seconds ahead of you.
Whoa.
Wow. Wow. Is this like magic shit?
No.
All right. So I can tell you 20 seconds from now, the world is still going on. Okay.
I'm glad you added that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to our next act. She's all the way back from LA. We're going to again.
Yes.
Yeah, she's one of
let's
the
go back
regulars. We
there.
love having her on this
We
show.
love having her.
I just said that. It literally was exactly.
He just said that. He was just literally exactly. Her name is
Jessica Michelle Singleton.
Your life.
Hi, it's me. I'm here and I'm not in my car, mostly because I discovered that you can't run your car in a large parking garage and have it have any positive effect on the end of your life. Great to be here. Barely thriving in my apartment. Thriving seems like a strong word for what I'm about to talk about. Listen, let's just go back to Nicole. If you missed it, it was great. Nicole was talking about going to summer camp. I am poor white trash, was poor white trash. So my family couldn't afford to send me to summer camp. So I had to learn about blowjobs from my Uncle Gary. Thank you. Thank you. Is it even considered being molested if the relative is hot? Or is it just like, oh, this is naughty? You know, it's like, yeah, he's my uncle, but he looks like David Beckham and he's a doctor. I'm not going to get a guy that good. Let me have this. What are you guys? What repressed trauma is coming up for you as you're sitting in your house, just waiting for time to pass? I miss my Uncle Gary. Dear God. Listen, Danny was talking about Zoom workout classes. I've been doing Zoom workout classes. I think I prefer Zoom workout classes for a lot of reasons, but I think the most important and specific is that you can mute yourself and then just fart as loud as you need to, and nobody asks you to leave. Because I would be lying to you guys if I told you that I wasn't banned from several hot sculpt classes in the greater Los Angeles area. And now listen, I'm not a great feminist. I don't even like to use the word feminist because I think it implies that I blog and it's like, ugh, reading and writing. I'm a lady. But one thing I do on behalf of women is fart so terribly in co-ed hot workout classes that all of the men leave. I literally had that happen once where men just had to get up. Why am I telling you this? This isn't the material I was going to do. I'm just Reminiscing on the better times. Give it up if you're depressed, huh? Let me see some poop emojis. Who's barely holding on? That's what my mom says. Give it up. I am depressed, but a lot of us are. Don't feel bad for me. Feel bad for my friends. What a burden for them, huh? Ugh, especially now I have so much free time. It's like, I don't know if you guys have ever had a depressed friend. I'm sure you have one now, so maybe this material will work better. But you like if you get one good friend, you get one good call, just one time you can call a friend. You can reach out to someone who's real close, and you can be honest with them and tell them that you're depressed. Once, just one call. And if the next day you call that same friend and you're like, I'm still depressed, they're gonna be like, all right, what do you want from me? Could you not talk about your depression so much? It's really bumming me out, which is fun. You're like, oh, good, my depression bums you out. That's, you know what bums me out? Everything. I'm depressed. People will say things if they think you're depressed. I think we're all realizing that. Here's what I'm realizing as someone who's been depressed for the past 25 years, because I'm getting people who are just now feeling depressed for the first time in their life. Here's what I've learned about myself. Don't have the emotional capacity to support someone who has a trust fund and is suddenly experiencing sadness for the first time. I have friends reaching out like, I've never felt this sad. And I have to be like, well, I felt this sad for the past 2 decades. Welcome to the fucking club. People say things, right? They'll be like, I'm always here for you. Reach out to me, right? And you can't. We don't treat depression, mental illness the way we treat physical illness. You know what I mean? People are like, wow, what a maniac. Like, no one's ever like, yeah, Jim's a cool guy, but between you and me, he got the flu pretty bad in the 90s. But you tell someone you're depressed and they're like, oh, she needs help. You could even like go to a therapist, go to a psych ward and get a full evaluation and be like, actually, I'm fine. And everyone will be like, sure you are. Hang in there, buddy. Don't hang. Keep on keeping on. I started teletherapy, which is fucking just as bad as regular therapy, but I'm a white woman. We treat therapists like they're auto mechanics for our emotions. Like, do you have duct tape for my soul? Anything. So I started talking to a therapist and she's like, by the way, just in case anyone's in the States, I know our health system is totally fucked. And with this health crisis, it's even worse. But just so you know, you can speak to a licensed therapist. Little PSA, I'll just throw this in here as I'm getting towards at the back end of my set. You can speak to a licensed therapist 100% free. All you do is find their number and call them and just go, help, when they answer. And they're like, okay, I'll talk to you. But I did. I was like, can you just prescribe me pills that can come in the mail to fix it? And she's like, well, tell me about your life and your childhood. And I was like, well, when I was 8, my dad abandoned me in a Waffle House, which is true. It's a small, trashy restaurant. Europeans, you won't know Waffle House. But imagine if you set a recycling bin on fire and then someone decided to serve waffles out of it. That's Waffle House. And that part's sad. I'm honestly more of a pancake person. And I was like, and all of my, half my friends from high school have been murdered. And she's like, okay. And last year, my brother nearly died overdosing on heroin, which is terrible because now nobody's taking my food addiction seriously. And the therapist was like, okay, stop. You're not depressed. You've had a terrible life. This is a normal emotional response. Do you have any pills for that? Do you have a pill for a bad life? Group therapy, tried this. I'll wrap up on this. I'm going to wrap up right on this. I'm not yet, but I know we're not in a group therapy. This feels like group therapy because I'm unloading on you guys. This was all scripted material at some point and I've derailed. Don't do group therapy. Group therapy is like a horse race for who had it the worst. The therapist just comes in and they're like, and they're off. Coming out first is a gay man with Republican parents. Guy born with no legs, setting the pace. Young black male in America is coming around from the outside, touched by an uncle, coming in from the inside. And the winner is Pfizer. I don't know. Take these pills. You're not going to feel better. You'll just feel nothing. And feeling is terrible. The real winner is the therapist. Like, well, I don't know if you're mentally ill, but come back twice a week for the rest of your life. I want to get a yacht. In closing, I'll say this. I don't think I'm depressed. I think I'm bipolar because I have like super low lows, but then just really high lows. Anyways, I'm Jessica Michelle Singleton. I have a podcast called Name That Pod, where we're currently reading Harry Potter and holding on by a thread with Nicole, who you saw at the beginning.
Don't say
Anyway,
anything. He does the transition.
And now, Antony Lobin.
You know, this lockdown situation, it's nothing new for the French. Today we have the germ, right? But my grandparents, they had the Germans, and they decided, just like we did, to stay home. And it was for a long time. It was for 4 years. All right. Today, the virus is an enemy that we cannot fight. My grandfather always talked about the German, the enemy that we shouldn't fight. So today, the French society has a lot of problems with this whole situation of being stuck at home, working from home. How can you go on strike in such a situation? Because you understand, you cannot go on strike for something you cannot go to. You get my point? Now, every piece of information has some negative and some positive. So if you take, for example, this idea that COVID-19 patients lost their sense of taste and their sense of smell. This could be negative. Of course, if you lose your sense of taste, then you cannot enjoy French cuisine anymore. And you might as well have to fire your cook, right? You know, no need to cook my bœuf bourguignon every day, right? So, but then maybe something positive can be seen. If people lose their sense of smell, then maybe my sister is going to find a boyfriend because she doesn't put the deodorant. And it would be even better news if people lose their sense of sight, because she doesn't shave the mustache or the armpits, which in a way it's kind of kinky, but this is off topic, sorry. Let's move on. Now, what scares me the most in this pandemic is that I might very soon lose my Swiss chalet. Okay, and you have to understand, I worked really hard to get this chalet. I sucked up to my dad. I was very nice to him. I made lies about my brothers and sisters so that he could give it to me. And that's been really tough, the prospect of losing all this. Okay, my father was a great tax evader, and it will probably be gone now, but it's okay. So our main problem for French people being in lockdown is, how do we distract our intellect? Because as you know, French people, we have read all the literature that has been written. We have seen all the arts that exist. People tell, you know, why don't you watch Netflix? I'm sorry, Netflix, this is not art. This is a shit from America. So that is why, you know, we ran out of, and normally when we ran out of these things, what do? We get a mistress. This is how we occupy our minds. But now in the lockdown, we cannot do meetings with our mistresses. We cannot do a 5 to 7. If you don't know, the 5 to 7, you know what it is, right? It's when you leave work at 5 p.m. And you said that you're going home. Instead, you go see the mistress, and then you come home at 7 p.m. and you see that you were at work. This is impossible now that work and home are exactly the same place. My mistress is confined with her husband. It's a terrible situation. So I tried to see my Swiss mistress. And my Swiss mistress, we met, but she respects all the rules. And she said that we should make love respecting the 2-meter distance between people. And it's just not the same, let's face it. So, of course, what I found the most shocking when I see that everybody is wearing masks, and probably we will have to wear masks for a long time, is these masks are a crime to fashion, because none of these chirurgical masks really fit any color of my fashionable wardrobe. And I hope that we really put a priority on this. I've heard that the fashion company Louis Vuitton is already designing masks that will be fashionable and that we can wear. And I believe this is the only way that will make this pandemic bearable, this post-pandemic bearable for all of us. Thank you so much. I've been Antony Lobin. See you next week.
And now, Jeffrey Baldinger.
Is it
Go
good?
on.
Am I,
Yeah. Sorry.
yeah, I'm on. That's the best intro I've ever gotten in my life. And now Jeffrey Baldinger. Hi, everybody. I'm not actually in San Francisco. I'm in Los Angeles right now. This is the Golden Gate Bridge behind me. Because the last time I did this show, I'm happy to be back, but the last time I did this show, everybody was all like, oh, your fan is, crazy behind you. And so, like, this is what's going on behind me for real. And just there's like all this stuff. It's better this way, I think, maybe this way. I don't know. Whatever you guys like will be good. We'll keep it on the world because this is a global pandemic. And I am happy to be here. I'm happy to be back. And I want to bring the world together with joy and happiness and laughter. And I think the best thing to do is to play a little song that was made famous by international superstar Gail Godot. And I think if you can all sing along, I think this is the song that heals the world the best. Everybody knows the words. No, of course I'm not going to sing that song. No, she ruined it. It was bad when she did it. It's never again, never ever again. There's not that many tragedies in the world that happened, but that was, I think, one of them. I think never again, never forget what she did. Never forget. I think that's a slogan for another. I don't remember what the tragedy was, but the thing is, I'm just here because I wanna be here for you. That's all it is. And I want to talk about this because in this, I'm just home. I'm just sitting in my, I have to get my steps in, my count. So I went outside yesterday for the first time in 3 weeks, which is good for me. And I took a long walk and my counter was like, you took 13,000 more steps today than you did yesterday. I had taken 13,039 steps. I had taken 39 steps the day previous. And today I'm up to 4, I think. I'm up to 4 steps today. We're trying to get out there. And then I had to go to the store. So I got into my car and my car was dead. I hadn't driven my car I didn't realize you have to exercise your car too. If you don't use your car, it'll just die. And you gotta get your steps in, you gotta get your car's wheels in. So much stuff that you have to think about now that you can't go out or you can't do regular work. I have to think about what other type of job you can do. People give shit a lot of times to people who have day jobs, and that's fine. You can do that, but just bear in mind, Jesus had a day job. Okay, Jesus Christ had a day job. He and I just like to think that maybe he talked about his day job the way that other artists talk about their day jobs. It's kind of like I'm not really a carpenter. I don't do this. This is not my thing. So I actually am a messiah. I'm blowing up pretty hardcore right now. I'm up to 12 followers. It's not a big deal or anything like that. And no, I'm not relying on my dad's name. I'm doing this all on my own. It's all that good stuff. So my stepdad's cool, I guess, but I think I'm really nailing it. Is that foreshadowing? I don't know. I tell the future. I'm okay. That's what I think Jesus would be like as a day job worker. That's right. Oh man. And the thing is, let's see, do we got any comments? Yeah, so we gotta make it work for us. That's what it's about. And that is the message that I want to impart on everybody today is be there for each other, stay away from each other, but also be there for each other. Because the other thing that you need to remember is they're giving us the information that we have. They're giving us the information to make sure that we stay safe. So if you're gonna cough on somebody with a mask. Don't be that asshole who goes up to the random people without masks and cough. There's a reason people wear masks. They're the people that you can cough on. So that's something that you can do. And so I guess that last time I left with a message of how to get through the day, which is just take a nap through the day. If you want to If you want to hear that song, you can request it at Jeff Baldinger. You can follow me there. I'll play you a little song. This time, if I'm going to leave you with any advice, how to stay healthy, only cough on people with masks. And I think we'll get through this together as a world unit. So thank you very much. I'm Jeffrey Baldinger.
Jeffrey
Baldinger!
Live from LA.
I'm going to cough on some people as soon as this is done.
Yes,
Find
that
people
was our
masks.
last comedian from Los Angeles.
Oh, was the last one? Yeah,
Yes.
the last one from LA. Not the last one of the night, though. We have one more act. But just before we do, there were some excellent comments in the last act. So I just want to throw 3 of them out here.
Please.
All right, cool. So from Michael Arthur, we had, with the space background, it's like the space baby from Space Odyssey grew up. There's a lot of spaces in that comment now that I read it out loud, huh?
Yeah.
A lot of spacing. Jean Kennett, I hope I pronounced that right. Jean Senate. Brokeback Mountain is the only true American culture. I agree with that.
That's very funny.
Exemplified in that scene, where he just goes, just.
Anyway, yeah, no, I get it.
Anyway.
Now. I thought you were like.
Oh, like
Yeah,
no, it was
got it.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Lastly, from Mike Gledhill, Earth Day was yesterday. Today is Mars Day. I've eaten 3 so far today. # comfort food. Great work, guys. Those are awesome.
Michael is killing it. He's
Michael
always
is-
making it to the show.
Mike's always
one way or another.
We love usually one.
Yes.
Usually he's
It's
just
just
watching the
actually
show.
just only for the comments.
Yeah,
but pretty good comments.
Great comments.
All right.
Great.
Well, I was having so much fun that
too.
what we forgot to plug this. Normally, I get down on my knees and I beg for your donation, guys. Please give us some money. All right, guys. As you can see, we have comedians coming all the way. Well, not coming, but streaming.
Okay.
From California.
It's got weird.
Last week was Australia. So we
Yeah.
have professional comedians who are, there's not a lot of live work going on right
Trying to
now.
give a little money.
So we want to invite them and keep providing
A space for them to perform. Usually my apartment's the
and
space.
we want to pay them because these are professional comedians.
They're awesome comedians.
So we need your help, guys. There
Yes.
is a link in the description of the show.
That's correct.
You can
You
either
PayPal,
make a PayPal
Twint.
donation. Twint didn't make it to the.
Okay, no twin. Forget that. We can do
In
PayPal.
theory, you could twint, but not
Theoretically.
today.
Okay. What else can you do?
And then you can also become a subscriber.
Oh yeah,
to
Patreon.
Patreon.
That'd be
Because okay,
fantastic.
guys, let's face it, we are revolutionizing.
Wow,
No, I
you're so much revolutionizing.
I'm into sales mode now. Okay, guys, you know what? No, I'm Tony
it's
Robbins.
No,
Tony
You're
Robbins.
like Hulk Hogan right now. You know something, guys? When I donate money, that's what you're going right now.
So
You
you
Hulk
can
Hogan
become
donation.
a regular
Donate so he doesn't become Hulk Hogan.
producer of the show.
Oh, brother. Okay, that's enough.
Okay, somebody's
All right.
breathing loud behind. Okay, so that's maybe our next comedian. So guys, you got it right. You can become a regular producer of the show, or do a one-time donation. We kind of need it because if we want to keep bringing comedians back,
Beautiful, wonderful comedians.
these are people who we need to.
Yeah, we already did this bit. All right, so please donate, and then we'll keep this show going. And
Yeah,
we
but I
really
like
appreciate
it.
No, I know. And we'll appreciate it. All right, let's go. Our last comic. Hold on,
Last
Slovakia.
comic.
We love this guy.
Oh.
He's what was it? French clown. It's,
Yes.
we introduce him in mime. We're not going to do that. All right.
Welcome. No.
Please welcome Alan Henderson.
Alan Henderson. Okay, Alan Henderson. And life.
Man, that was way too much French liberalism for an introduction. I didn't like none of that. How you guys doing? This is Kill, man. First off, before we start, I want to say congratulations to Chris. Today he opened his OnlyFans page. That's where you can go and see him take his clothes off. That's absolutely fantastic, man. We've all been there at times before. There's no shame in pulling your butt apart to provide for your family or to get a sandwich. You know, just sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Tuna fish is expensive these days, man. So fair play to you. All right, everybody's out here depressed and all negative. What I want to do is I want to inject a little bit of positivity in here. So I'm going to open to a random page of the Bible. I'm going to read a scripture. All right, we open up the good book and I found Ezekiel 23:20. Let me read this one here. It says, "And she lusted after her lovers, whose genitals were like those of donkeys, and whose emission was like that of horses. So you longed for the tenderness of your youth, when in Egypt your bosom was caressed, and your breast fondled. I tell you what, they say the Lord works in mysterious ways, and I never heard anything more mysterious than a lady who has enough, let's say, taste and sensibility to want the genitals of a donkey, but the emission of a horse. That's a lady who knows how to get around. I got nothing wrong with that. I don't know why the good Lord decided to put that in his book, but fucking fair play to him too. He knows how to write them. He's a bestseller. Only one. I feel like we could use another one. All right, let me get to the real stuff that's happening in the world. Number one, I'm worried about the price of oil. Oil is real cheap right now. We're going to have a bunch of people in Texas doing OnlyFans page as well, and I don't think that'll do anywhere near as good as Chris Darwa's. But, you know, the oil not doing well, it scares me, man, because it tells me something simple. These are fossil fuels, man. Oil comes from dinosaurs. So the fact that people ain't willing to pay good money for oil means people just don't care enough about dinosaurs anymore. And I think that's sad. Why don't people love science? Man, I love a dinosaur. You see them T-Rex? That was a godly animal. He had the little tiny arms, a little too short for him to masturbate with. That's how you keep it straight with the Lord. Make sure you can't even touch yourself. They were godly little animals, them T-Rexes, man. They'd get married in front of the Lord. God loved them. And then they started fucking the Triceratopses, and God had to send a meteor and kill all of them. It was a whole mess. Ain't nobody like that. But it tells me one thing, you know, the world's getting cleaner. Everything's getting nicer. Everybody gets to see good views and everything. We're like, pollution's gone. Everything's getting nicer. And it lets me lead one thing. Plastic straws weren't that big of an issue, were they? Like a year ago, everybody's bitching about plastic straws. They're like, hey, this is going to destroy the environment. Now we got to use them shitty paper ones that dissolve after 2 minutes. Can we just bring back the fucking plastic straws? That'd be nice, man. All right, but I'm going to get real with you. I'm worried now. You know, everybody getting all sick and all that, you know, makes me think we need us a vaccine. Now, I know a lot of people who got an accent similar to my accent. They're against vaccines. And I think that's dumb because, you know, I don't like vaccines, but I do love autism. I think that's a fun little thing. You got kids with big little heads. They done running around in the field doing math, and that's absolutely wonderful. I don't know about y'all's education, but math is a goddamn mystery to me. So if you can stick a needle in my arm, keep me sick from a virus, and teach me algebra all at the same time, I think that's absolutely goddamn wonderful. But it does scare me, man. Them Chinese out here making that virus. I heard they done made it in a factory. A friend of mine who's a doctor told me that. I mean, he's not a doctor, but he's seen a lot of episodes of House, so he knows what he's talking about. And, you know, when the Chinese first got that virus, I was like, that's all right. You know, it's good that they got that virus. That means when we go to war with them, less of them to fucking deal with. But then it came over to America, and they engineered it perfect, too. Because the number one thing that makes you more likely to die from corona is being obese. So what do? They engineer a virus that kills fat people. That's targeting America, man. I can't stand for that. And Chinese people, they ain't got to deal with obesity. All they do is eat rice and fuck bats all day. That burns off all the carbohydrates they have in their system. Americans, though, they're getting all fat. And it's like they wait till 40% of us are fat before they release the virus. And now everybody's stuck at home. McDonald's done started delivering. Used to be McDonald's was a nice family restaurant you'd go to and you'd sit down at with the whole family after church. But now they bring it straight to your house. That's only going to make Americans fatter and only going to kill more of them. And I don't like that, man. It scares me. Leads me to believe we got to go to war with China. But that's a problem because the number one way America gets its soldiers is it sets up an army recruiter at a shopping mall. And there's no greater pastime than an American youth going to a shopping mall, getting lied to by an army recruiter, going overseas and killing some locals. That is a beautiful American pastime. It combines our two favorite things, travel and hunting, and it whips them up into a glorious patriot act of just heroism. And sure, you know, then they get to come back from overseas. They don't have a leg, but they get their college paid for. That's absolutely fantastic, man. I'm just saying, we got to get ready for the next big one. Oh, man, I had a health scare this week, too. I had to go, I'd take my ass up to the doctor. I had something wrong with my knee, right? The doctor has me lay down on my back. And he starts wiggling my knee back and forth, you know, just like that. I got scared. I thought there was something serious because every time he'd wiggle my knee, him and the nurse were looking at me like, whoa, they're making all sorts of faces like something bad was going on. Made me nervous. Anyhow, they got to give me a shot in the knee. They got to push my leg up against my chest. Nurse is looking at me like, and I'm like, I think I got knee AIDS, knee cancer, something real bad, you know. Anyhow, when they leave and I go to put on my drawers, I realize I'm wearing my pair of boxers that has a hole in the middle. Now, any man here will know you got two good pairs of boxers and you got about 18 pairs that got like a cantaloupe size hole right over there. So I realized, thank the good Lord Jesus, ain't nothing wrong with me. But the reason their face was going like that is because every time they were pushing my leg back, my butthole was just peeking out of the boxers just like that, like a sort of scared, I don't know, hedgehog hiding in flannel. And it was making them blink. I don't know how I'm gonna have to do that next time I have to see them. I think I'm gonna shave my ass, put googly eyes around it just to see if they blink a little bit. Anyhow, man, we got to get the Chinese throwing that thing on us. We got to get in touch with the good Lord because we're all gonna meet him soon. That's it for me, y'all. Y'all stay safe.
Alan Henderson.
Oh, that's creepy.
Yeah.
What was that look?
Where were we? Okay, so I have to
Did we organize something? No, go ahead.
No, so we lowered the energy because unlike normal people who just comment on the YouTube stream, I got a bunch of old friends like myself who are commenting in a WhatsApp group.
Oh wow, you are old.
Yeah. They sent a pigeon.
Oh no!
To say that every time we yell the comedian's name, the mic saturates. So when we came out, like, Alan Henderson.
We did try and keep it a little bit on the DL.
And we ended up looking very gay.
Okay, one of us did. It was me. It was my OnlyFans. Go check it out. I'll be right back.
Are you plugging your...
No, shut up. Just trying to earn my money. Anyway,
guys, thank you so much. You've made it to the end of the show.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for all the comments. We try to bring them in.
There was a lot of great ones at the end. We might post some stuff on the YouTube video when we go up with this. Because some of your comments have been awesome. Like Mike Ledhill, you're a comment.
Yeah, Mike Ledhill. Please. So guys, so we're gonna need your support, not just the money. Okay. If you can please plug the show anywhere you can, use your friends,
share,
social
like,
media,
subscribe, all the
share, like, subscribe,
the whole like SLS. That's
he's got it. He's an internet marketer.
I know what I'm doing.
Marketer,
apparently.
That was that's Alan's accent. That's just
apparently.
All right.
This was great. This was a lot of fun. Thank you guys so much for joining us again.
Please support the show. The link is in the description. See you next week. We'll be back at 8:30 Zürich time. Same. That's it.
God bless. No. Okay.
Bye, guys. Bye. Ciao.
Bye.
Bye.